YouTubers, good night. Saturday night. Just here in the office. Got a little bit of work done today. Got a new cabinet there for my shipping supplies. Getting everything assembled. Watch my starting a home business from scratch. It's a really good series. I'm going to put up some more content in the next couple of weeks. If a couple of tips and tricks I've learned from running a business from home. And it's been extremely successful. Anyways, I've had people ask me, a lot of people ask me actually, rates are going up. I posted the rate video a few days back. No, actually it was yesterday. That TD, RBC, and all the big banks in Canada will be raising interest rates. And people are asking, how high will it go? You see, there's the offset. If the price of housing goes down, which it has to, because the average person that owns a $1.4 million house that has a mortgage, let's say rates go up to 4.5 or 5 points. Let's just say you're looking at about $58,000, $60,000 a year in finance charges on $1.4 million. I'm just saying, for example, right? So that's a lot of finance charges for the average guy. Even the person with the six-figure income will have a really tough time paying those finance charges. You're not even paying the damn thing down. You're just, you're just getting by. And, will the price of housing drop? I've been talking about this. I've been begging people to listen to me for years now, that this is going to happen. And everyone, oh no, but houses are going to keep going up. I'm going to have fear of being bought out. Oh my God, they're putting so much supply because there's so much demand. But no one was looking at everything that's happening in the shadows with the empty homes, the teardowns going for $2 million and sitting there falling apart, and people weren't looking at all these little intricate things that are fracturing. And I keep telling you guys the exact same thing. The average person could afford, at 5 or 6% interest, the average person could afford a $300,000 to $400,000 house with a combined income of about $100,000 a year for a family. Could afford a $300,000 to $400,000 house. And people are like, Mike, you got to be realistic and this and that. And it's like, no, that's what it's worth. When people's like, oh, that's too cheap. No, that's what it's worth. When I talk about, for example, my buddy bought a house recently in Mexico. He bought a house. He's Mexican. And he bought a house with his wife, and he wants to start preparing for his retirement. So he bought a house for $36,000 Canadian. And then when people say, wow, that's so cheap for a house, I was like, no, because that's what a house is worth in Mexico, in that region. A house in Vancouver is not worth $2 million. It's not. It's not worth $1.5 million. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not. And everyone's like, yeah, supply, demand, and location. I've been in a lot better locations, and the average house is worth $260,000 to $340,000 for real newer infrastructure, really good clean cities and stuff, organized. Good police force, good municipalities and stuff. I've seen newer, more modern cities going for a lot less than what certain cities are charging. Anyways, how high do I think rates will go? I'm pushing towards 5.9 to 6%. And I'm going to tell you guys why I think this, okay? You don't have to believe me or anything I'm saying. It has a lot to do with the buying power of our dollar. I think it has a lot to do with how our dollar reacts right now in the markets. With Trump pulling out of NAFTA and all the other things that are happening, and the U.S. and Trump creating a bunch of jobs and kind of bringing more jobs back to the United States and all that stuff, kind of fixing his country and not worrying about anybody else, he's basically, the GDP will go up. If he pays down the country's deficit, which is, I think, $20 trillion, if he could pay that down a bit, I think, to be honest with you, Canada will fall behind. the Canadian dollar will fall come April after Q1. I have a feeling we're going to have a weak loonie after Q1 2018. That's what I feel. What's our number one trading partner? The United States of America. Right now, we're not really, we don't have the jobs. We don't have the fabrication like we used to. All our mining jobs got sold to foreign countries. And they're not even hiring Canadians to work in the mines. Like, a lot of things are happening in Canada. All those little pricks that are happening, all those little dots, once you start connecting them, once you start connecting the right dots, and you start realizing that there's a big problem in Canada. Huge. And I think we need some sort of governance in Canada. See, the problem with government is this is the way I see it. Every time you get ahead, or you find a new way to make money, or you discover something great, government's always there to shut you down, no matter what. Every time you have a break, or every time you feel like you've achieved something and you're going ahead, oh, no, you can't do that. No, we're governing you. So that's what's happening a lot in Canada now. And, we do have free speech and stuff. We do have, the country has incredible potential to be a top-notch superpower. Non-militarily, because I don't believe in big militaries. That's a waste of money. And then the tanks go out of tanks, planes, ships, all that crap. That stuff goes down. That stuff gets replaced. Like, remember back in the 90s when you kept replacing computers? Same thing with the military industrial complex. Every 6 months there's a new jet. Every 8 months there's a new tank. If there's war, then build it on the assembly line as the war would progress, for example. That's what I would do. I wouldn't have a standing army. But to be very fair with you guys, I really see a huge recipe for disaster. For interest rates need to go up to compete with our American counterparts to somehow stimulate our economy. I'm going to see student loans, because it's government regulated, the student loans, it became a federal thing. I see them raising the rates on that too, on student loans. I see them raising the price of gasoline after Q1 in 2018. I see them raising the price of food. I see the price of everything going up. Not because that's what I want. I don't want to fear porn and scare people. I just want people to be prepared. This is the worst case scenario. The worst that could happen. And I believe that rates will go up. Mind you, your banks will probably start paying you interest on your savings. I don't know if you remember ING Direct. I love those accounts, those 4.5% accounts, 5% accounts. Save your money. I don't know if you guys remember that. You have $1 million, 4.5%, that's $45,000 a year. The bank would pay you in interest. Those were the good days. Now, banks are not even paying you 0.25%, or not even that, 0.02%, I think it is. So it's nothing. So I want to know what you guys think. How high will rates go up? I believe that there's a lot going to happen, especially in Canada, economic-wise. Our housing bubble has been kind of fed with stimuluses and, first-time buyers, loan, this, that. People are going to have a really hard time paying for their stuff. There's going to be a massive correction. It's going to affect every single person living within the borders of Canada. If there's a triggered domino effect that kicks off in Australia, because Australia is looking at a 300K correction in Melbourne, and I'm telling people to hold back, relax, because they're going to have to raise rates there too. Relax, don't panic. And who is this good for? The people that have been waiting on the sidelines for the last 10 years to buy in. Vancouver's been in an 8 or 9 year bull market now with this housing. And things are cooling off big time. And a lot of people tell me, no, you're wrong, and this and that. And, it's what it is, I wonder where that Russian guy is that used to tell me off all the time. Telling me I was out of my mind and blah, blah, blah. Saying he bought 3 condos in Toronto when it was at the height. And I'm not sure where he's at. He disappeared in the comments section. I don't see that guy anymore. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think. I really want to know. I do see rates going up to 5.96%, 5.56%. We gotta find a way. We don't have a GDP anymore. Oh, we have a GDP, but we don't have. We did better in the 80s and 90s when we were producing. I know they want to stay green and stuff and go technology wise. Okay, then why don't we produce electric cars? Why don't we produce that? Why aren't we producing solar panels and selling them all over the world? Why aren't we want to stay green? Produce that stuff. Produce windmills. I don't know. Do something. Stop buying stuff from Sweden and Germany. Make stuff in country. You know, those windmills that they buy from there, those big ones that produce electricity. Why? I don't know, guys. I want to comment below. Where do you think rates are going to go? I think 5.5 to 6% is very, very healthy for the stimulus that we had for the last 10 years. And we got to bring that back. We got to find a way to compete, because if we're not bringing in jobs and we're not creating any useful jobs that actually, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, I work for the government. Okay, but you work for the public. You know, you're not working a private sector job. When you're working in the public sector, it's the middle class private sector jobs that are paying for that, for your job. So when you say, I'm paying taxes, you know, to the government for my, but it's double in a way when we're paying, you know, so it's got to be non-governmental jobs. I mean, yeah, we need police. Yeah, we need postmen. Yeah, there's a lot of things we need infrastructurally. We do. Garbage men, pickup, and all that stuff. We need that stuff, you know, but getting real raw jobs, you know, start mining some of our mines again. Stop selling them off to overseas companies, and then they don't hire Canadians to work at them. And then they get hurt in the mines, and then they expect our healthcare to pay for it. Anyways, guys, comment below. I'm talking too much now. Have a good Saturday night, and thanks for watching.